Bolt family, take a deep breath because change is in the air tonight. A quiet move on the offensive line could unlock Herbert's protection. A rookie in the backfield might have flipped our entire trade deadline plan. A piece in the passing game rose after a painful mistake, and a final seconds detail left the whole NFL stunned. Want to see how it all connects and what it says about our season? You won't believe what we've got today, so get comfortable, smash that like button, and let's get straight to it. Because the real story starts right now. Bolt family, hear me out, because the name that just popped onto the Chargers' radar makes perfect sense. Carter Warren. A young physical tackle who is, above all, available. He got pushed to the side with the Jets after New York stacked first-round talent on the offensive line. Olu Fashanu and Armand Membu took over the edges and left Warren without a lane. That set off alarms in Los Angeles because the need is obvious. Immediate depth to protect Justin Herbert, especially with recent injuries forcing the staff to improvise up front. The spark for this rumor came when ESPN insider Jeremy Fowler reported that Warren was drawing interest from multiple teams before final cuts. Several outlets echoed the buzz, noting that the Jets, already loaded at tackle, were taking calls. Then cut-down weekend flipped the script. Warren was released outright, with no trade materializing. That turned a back-channel rumor into a market opportunity, and this is where the Chargers slide in naturally. Think it through. Los Angeles needs a reliable RT2/3, someone who can rotate in and hold the fort without breaking the bank. That's exactly what Warren represents. He's experienced in zone concepts, has the size and strength for the right side, and can be plugged in quickly without wrecking the cap. It's the kind of smart reinforcement Harbaugh's front office loves: cheap, functional, and impactful right away. Financially, it's a no-brainer. Before he was cut, chatter centered on a conditional sixth-rounder for a trade. Now, with him on the street, the cost drops to a simple veteran minimum deal with playtime incentives. No draft pick burned, minimal risk. Just a chance to fortify a critical spot when the team needs stability to keep its franchise quarterback clean. Meanwhile, in New York, the OL hierarchy explains the exit. Membu and Fashanu grabbed the frontline roles, pushing Warren out of the rotation, and because the OL market always has more demand than supply, it's natural that his name heats up in Los Angeles. Bottom line, the Chargers need bodies, power, and reliability. Warren needs a runway and a coach who can pull the best out of him. It all fits. And the most interesting part? This time the rumor feels grounded, because the fit is so obvious that even insiders have started to frame it like an inevitable move. Breathe, because what happened in Miami was one of those games that shape a season's direction. The Chargers dodged disaster and escaped with a razor-thin 29-27 win, but the real headline was the birth of a new protagonist, Kimani Vidal. The rookie didn't just carry the load, he may have changed the front office's trade deadline plan in real time. Before kickoff, insiders were already saying it. Los Angeles was calling around for running backs, hunting for help after Najee Harris went down for the year and first-rounder Omarion Hampton landed on IR for an extended stretch. Then Miami happened, and Vidal rewrote the conversation. 15 carries, 122 yards, 8.1 per attempt, plus a receiving touchdown. A performance that became the perfect barometer for how much juice is left in the run game even without the headliners. Here's the kicker. This wasn't easy. The offensive line was shorthanded, the Dolphins stacked blitzes, and still the kid read his blocks, showed patience, and flashed veteran-level vision. With each touch, you could feel the confidence building, and maybe for the first time in a while, fans exhaled, watching a Chargers RB control the clock and balance the offense. That outing changes the internal calculus. With Vidal leveling up, the urgency to trade for another back dips. The front office can opt for a targeted waiver/free agent addition instead of spending picks on a rushed deal. Hassan Haskins remains a rotation piece with special teams value, but it's clear that, for now, the engine of the ground game has a new name. Yes, there are disclaimers. The Dolphins' run defense is one of the league's worst, so the stat line might be inflated. But you can't ignore the emotional jolt a performance like this creates in the locker room. Harbaugh, who's always valued physical, disciplined runners, saw exactly his type in Vidal. Burst, strength, and smart reads. If he delivers anything close to this over the next few weeks, the Chargers not only save assets, they also find an in-house solution to what looked like a chronic issue. And let's be honest, nothing fires up a fan base like a rookie catching fire right when the team needs it most. If there's one name that earned major respect this week, it's rookie Emergence Gadsden. His storyline felt like a movie. It started with a mistake that could have been costly, an early fumble, and ended with him becoming a pillar of the comeback. That kind of mental response, especially for a rookie, shows a trait Harbaugh prizes: resilience. And it's exactly what helped reignite the Chargers' offense after 2 brutal weeks against the Giants and Commanders. Gadsden finished with 7 catches for 68 yards, and more than the numbers, it was his presence. When the team needed chains moved, there he was, finding space between linebackers and offering Herbert a quick outlet, the kind of reliability the offensive staff has been desperate to locate. And he did it even with Will Dissly returning from injury and sharing snaps. What makes it even more meaningful is Harbaugh's post-game message. He didn't dodge the fumble. He acknowledged it, but highlighted the maturity to compartmentalize and keep producing. For a team rebuilding mindset and culture, that's gold. Building a roster isn't just about talent. It's about how each player reacts to adversity. Gadsden answered with action. On the field, he brings a different flavor. He isn't the most physical blocker like Dissly or Conklin, but he owns trustworthy hands, clean routes, and a natural feel for finding blind spots in zone. That makes the offense more versatile, especially when Herbert needs to get the ball out fast because of protection issues. And with the line still patched together, every reliable target is a blessing. There's a psychological ripple, too. When a rookie keeps his cool after a mistake, the locker room feels it. Veterans respect it, the coach leans in, and fans start to see something real. Gadsden may not be the loudest name yet, but he's planting the seeds to become essential in the passing structure. If he keeps trending up, it won't be long before Harbaugh installs specific packages to exploit mismatches and create new offensive dynamics. That kind of internal growth changes a team's trajectory and proves not every solution has to come from outside. And when it felt like the emotional roller coaster had finally stopped, the ending sent every Chargers fan's heart into overdrive. 5 seconds left, Dolphins fans already celebrating, and then Cameron Dicker. The ice-cold kicker drilled the 33-yarder that sealed a 29-27 win and snapped a 2-game skid. One of those moments where the whole stadium holds its breath and only the snap of the net confirms it. The Thunder is still alive. What impressed most was how they got there. The final drive started with the clock against them after Tua Tagovailoa's late touchdown seemed to end it. Then, Nyheim Miller-Hines ripped the kickoff back to the 41, and on the very next snap, Ladd McConkey, yes, the same rookie who's been ascending each week, broke a tackle and sprinted 42 yards to the 17. From there, Dicker stepped onto center stage and did what he does, total composure. Justin Herbert, once again, was the maestro. He went 29 of 38 for 264 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no picks. Under pressure, he led an offense that, even without its 2 starting tackles, showed structure and steel. Kimani Vidal kept the ground game alive with 124 rushing yards and a receiving score, balancing the plan and easing Herbert's burden in the biggest moments. Across the field, Tua had highs and lows, 205 yards with 3 interceptions, including a last-gasp pick by Derwin James Jr., and that's the core of this win: resilience. After 2 disappointing weeks, the Chargers proved they can still win ugly, that they can still answer when everything seems to be unraveling. This comeback in Miami is worth more than a tick in the standings. It reignites belief in the locker room, reinforces the competitive identity Harbaugh is building, and shows this team has a pulse even with pieces missing. The kicker, Dicker going 5 for 5, underscores the kind of efficiency that separates good teams from real playoff threats. In the end, the victory was more than relief. It was a message. The Chargers are still here, and if they keep stacking growth week by week, nobody will want to see this group in December. Take a breath, Bolt family, because today's message is clear. This team still beats strong. The window is open for a surgical OL addition in Carter Warren, a low-cost fix that protects the franchise and brings stability. In the backfield, Kimani Vidal changed the tone of our deadline by proving he can carry the ball and the moment. Through the air, Emergence Gadsden answered his mistake with maturity and became a trusted release valve. And Cameron Dicker, ice in his veins, hammered home the point. We're competitive. Which of these turning points sold you most? Drop a like, subscribe, Hit the bell, comment, and share right now.